and we're live with episode 3 of Select Fire, the show where we give everybody a chance to answer a few questions, but not a whole lot of a chance. It's only about 30 seconds. So, anyways, we got another dais of special guests here. I used a fancy word, dais. I've heard that on like the roast and stuff. So, oh well, I'll go with it. First, we got Bon from Fight Soap. How's it going, Bon?
Hey guys, pleasure to be here.
Tell us a little bit about you and your company and everything.
Well, I started a company called Fight Soap. We do what we would like to call combat hygiene. So we started off making, hygiene products for fighters. Now we're expanding into the tactical market. We've done guys who do extreme sports. What we basically do are all natural products that are antibacterial, antifungal. It's very specific. It's not your beauty product sort of deal. It's performance in the shower.
Nice. And we have Fate of Destinee from the Fate of Destinee YouTube channel. How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me on Select Fire.
And what do? You like shooting stuff on video?
I like do some shooting and stuff. I run a small media company, and the face of it is through my YouTube channel. So I do a lot of gun reviews, shooting, self-defense, women's self-defense and shooting, concealed carry, a little bit of everything because I like guns and gear. But that's the chief outlet is I make a whole lot of videos.
Awesome. Then next to you we've got old Jim Erwin. How's it going, Jim?
Good, guys. Glad to be back.
Tell us a little bit about you.
All right, I'm Jim Erwin, former Army Ranger, Delta operator, current close protection specialist, and also an entrepreneur of sorts. I have a tactical and outdoor adventure gear company called U.S. Elite that provides head-to-toe equipment for military, law enforcement, and the outdoor enthusiasts, to include like extreme sports guys, hunting, which is more my flavor. If it doesn't shoot back, oh well, maybe next time, but I still try to shoot it.
And what's hilarious is Jim is like slouching in his chair, and he's not a small guy. You look like the smallest guy on this panel here. And then next to him we've got Joe Arangio, and Joe recently interviewed Left Hand and I for his podcast and an article coming up in Men's Fitness, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Why he picked that, I will never know, but hey.
It's good to be here. It's a real honor. Thank you guys for having me. I'm not a gun expert. I'm not a firearms trainer. I'm a tactical strength and conditioning coach. I'm also owner of an educational site called tacticalworkouts.com. And what I do is help military, law enforcement, and prepared citizens build tactical muscle. It's not the firearms specific aspect, but it's the strength and conditioning aspect. And as we'll soon find out, they're completely, in my opinion, they're different. So it's a real honor to be here. If you guys want to check out tacticalworkouts.com, we've got 5 really cool videos on tactical training. So you can get those for free over at tacticalworkouts.com.
Awesome. And then, of course, we have old Left Hand, he was technically not late again. He was here early.
I'm on time.
I
was doing my tactical workout, man. I was showing everybody.
And you got
my Ranger panties on and everything.
You got your Ranger panties on?
Yeah, you saw them.
Did you do the same
That's
workout
right.
to his hair?
I'll make you pay for it during this show somehow, some way. You'll hear.
Man, I was looking buff, Jim. You'd have been proud.
You're
yes, sir.
Out there, Hoss.
I was curling ARs, bench pressing them. Oh yeah.
That's 7 pounds, 8 pounds at a time.
That's right.
Have you worked up to the 308s yet?
Well, actually, I got the 300 blackout, so I'm not quite to the 308 yet.
All right, so this is the order we'll go in. Remember, everybody, you got 30 seconds to answer each question. We'll go Bon, Left Hand, Destinee, Jim, and then Joe. First question.
Oh, come on, mix it up.
It's easier because it's all in order for me.
I'll get lost if you do that.
And if you get if you get past 30 seconds, you're going to hear this. And you got to stop. You got to shut up. If you don't, I'll mute you. All right, so Bon, everybody, first question is, how important is fitness to your self-defense training, tactical training, and what do you feel is the best single exercise? There's probably a lot, but what's in your opinion, the best exercise for that?
Well, Fitness is very important because from how I see it, adrenaline can only take you so far. I'd rather see someone, or I'd rather be physically, in shape or like conditioned to, you know, fight a really long fight if I have to. With self-defense, you have to be explosive, get away from the attacker, and just like bolt. I mean, that's how I've been taught self-defense. In general, I think. Oh, come on!
I'll come back to you. I want to know what's your single workout. I'm going to come back to you, I promise. All right, left hand, what about you?
Well, Zeke, as you well know, and as we pointed out to Joe.
Destinee, go ahead.
Sorry. I think that having high physical fitness is important to a self-defense outlook overall because you never know what could happen. So the better prepared you are physically and in addition to your gear and your mental conditioning, the better you'll be able to handle whatever life may have to throw at you. I don't think, with that in mind, that there is one specific exercise. I think that what's more appropriate for your self-defense is to have a more holistic approach, so some strength training and some cardio training, because you may have to carry something, you may have to book it, you never know. But if you are skilled already, you've got at least a little bit of edge over somebody who doesn't. Or who isn't skilled. There you go.
That was weird.
I'm sorry, I'm not eloquent, but I was trying to keep it
your
short.
mouth's not talking anymore. That's weird. All right, Jim. Jim, your turn.
You're cutting out, Zeke.
Tactical fitness on my side is I look at something that's all-encompassing, where you have to get the rev limiter up, the stress levels up, because when bad guys start shooting back, if you're putting yourself in that tactical environment, you're not going to sit there all supple and nice and calm. Get your rev limiter up, get the stress levels up, run, push-ups, whatever it is you're doing, then do some shooting. Put yourself in that high-stress situation so you know your capabilities to perform. It's not a surprise.
Nice. All right, Joe, what about you?
As long as a program gives you a progressive mechanism to create mechanical tension and a deep level of fatigue in the muscle, it's probably going to give you what you want. I mean, it also helps if you believe in the program. It's always seemed to me that the more you believe in a nutrition program or a workout, the more willing you'll be to push yourself into that uncomfortable zone where you can tolerate, if it's nutrition, that would be you tolerate hunger, maybe some soreness in your training program. Really all you need is progression, you need overload. As far as the best exercise, it would be the one that recruits the most muscle tissue. So it would be the most efficient exercise. I mean...
Wow. Did you time it perfect, or are we going to keep going?
I was going to say barbell back squat. If you were to pick one...
All right, Bon, you didn't get to give me your specific one. What's your specific?
Yeah, in general, I would probably say running. Even running with weights on. I've done running with dragging a tire. It's very generic, but for me it works. I mean, it builds up your cardio, and for self-defense, it's pretty useful, in my opinion.
Well, and like Lefton and I, we usually just run away from issues, so we really need to.
Wrong!
All right, for the second question, we've got what is your take on adding live fire drills to fitness performance, such as Rob Pincus's Fit Shop programs? Bon, what do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I haven't really done anything like that before, but I have shot at the range, and I think it's very important because once you're firing a gun, it can just throw everything off, and you have to be mentally and physically prepared for that. So you really have to incorporate that in your workouts.
Okay. Left hand, what about you?
Well, Zeke, I feel that it's very, 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 very...
That's wrong. Destinee, go ahead.
Because of the stress that self-defense situations put you under, you end up having a lot of those major muscle... fine motor skill degradation and tunnel vision, loss of hearing. So the more that you have the opportunity to train to prepare yourself for those kinds of sensations, the better that you're going to perform when you're under fire. But I have, I guess, a little bit of a disclaimer. If you are not already skilled in firearms and you start integrating that fitness part, as long as your training is safe, I think it's great. But if you're not there with your firearms handling comfort, then maybe work on that a little bit first before you start integrating the whole fitness aspect. I'm just really, really big on range safety.
I gave you an extra 10 seconds because you had a very good point.
Thank you.
And she's bad girl.
I took left hand's 10 seconds.
There you go. I'll just spread his
I'm
time.
generous today.
Jim?
Can you repeat the question? Because I was totally enthralled with her range safety thing.
All right, so what is your take on using live fire drills with a real handgun in a fitness scenario, such as Rob Pincus? He has a CrossFit, but it's called Fit Shot. It's CrossFit and live fire drills that you do at the same time.
I think it's absolutely practical if you carry a gun for a living. What I hear a lot is personal defense. Well, what if you're not on the defense? What if you're on the offense? You're required to protect home and family, and you got to go on the offense. If the first time you get in that high-stress situation with that gun in your hand and your muscles are fatigued and you're freaking out and the blood's flowing, it could be a bad deal. So if you can incorporate that live fire training into a high-stress situation and have that mental mindset to have to go on the offense or defense if necessary, I think it's absolutely practical and necessary. But be safe doing it. Practice it. I've been doing it for 20-plus years, so I mean, I'll do it to a different level than, say, somebody else. But get the right training and get the right, weapons safety programs.
And you also drink tiger blood.
It's true.
Is he a wizard?
But not Idaho.
I gave you extra time because I'm scared of you. Joe, your turn.
I believe that you've got to have a mastery of both firearm and fitness. I would agree with everybody, so you don't get hurt. And here's the main point. There's a concept in strength and conditioning called technical failure. It's when you can no longer perform an exercise with perfect technique. So if you continue to push onward with sloppy form, it's not a matter of if you're going to get hurt, but when you're going to get hurt. So you clearly have to master your fitness before you're dealing with a handgun. It's logical. So that's my opinion.
All very
But
good.
if you make those techniques fit the gross motor movement stuff, you can get rid of that finesse to where it's all the gross motor movement stuff that you can continue to do repetition with at that high stress level. At 150 beats a minute, fine motor movements go away. I'm sure you know that. So the application absolutely needs to be at a gross motor movement. Make your techniques applicable at that stress level.
Mm-hmm. I guess I was commenting on an individual who's 5'9", 300 pounds, with a 46-inch waist that are that says I'm going to do fit shot. It's like the bigger issue would be to lose body fat first, get conditioned first.
Absolutely agree.
All right, now for the third unorthodox off-the-wall question. Bon, you're first.
Oh, God.
What did you have for lunch? What did you have for lunch today?
For lunch today, I actually had 2 fillet of fish.
That's wrong. You had a
Sandwiches.
cheeseburger and fries. Destinee.
What?
What did you have for lunch today?
Actually, I technically haven't eaten it yet. I have Taco Bell sitting right next to me, though.
That's wrong. You had McDonald's.
Healthy.
Jim, what did you have for lunch today?
I had a pulled pork sandwich, a beer, and a shot of whiskey.
Once again, I'm scared of you. That's right. Joe, what did you have for lunch today?
Can you give me 1 minute and I'll show you what I had? Hold on.
I was going to give you a wrong and said you had Special K and bananas, but, Wait,
He's got that super duper microphone, so you got to give him a sec.
All right, left hand, what'd you have for lunch today?
I had 8 pieces of bacon,
No,
3 eggs.
Now I'm a tactical strength and conditioning coach, right?
Yes.
And you're also the Black Adam.
I am the Black Adam too. So this is what I had at 7.
There's
Right
that
in
meal
here.
prep.
Wow.
And then this is what I had at 11.
More
And this is what I had at 1. So you can see that. And
Is that home cooked air?
Green Tupperware.
yeah, green Tupperware. So I always use a concept, and I teach a concept of you either do once a week or you do bi-weekly or tri-weekly. You just lump sum prepare everything at once, and you eat it. Again, that's not the only way to do it, but clearly that is an efficient way.
This is what I had for breakfast.
Oh, God.
This is the one I had for lunch.
Nice.
And I've already started on my dinner now, so
Right.
And show everybody your physique. Pull your shirt up.
The liquid diet.
Actually, this episode is brought to you by All or Nothing Tattoo, where you can get this Hostages Save Lives shirt. You got to watch one of their movies to figure out what that means, though.
All right, so I'm voting. I think Jim had the best lunch today.
Yes.
No question. I am definitely jealous of Jim's
Whatever
lunch.
he says.
I had a meeting with the Performance Weapon Systems company today, PWS, and talking about doing some stuff with them, and that was the offer. Pulled
Nice.
pork, and I'm like, I'm in.
What was the shot of whiskey?
I think it wasn't Jameson, it was Knob Creek.
Ah,
Yeah.
the second best.
Yeah. So, Bon, if people want to find out about Fight Soap, get some of your products, where do they go? How do they find out about you? Social media, all that jazz?
Yep. Well, we're big on Instagram right now, so just we're at Fight Soap. On the web, we're at getfightsoap.com.
And I'm telling you, people, I'm not just Bon. You don't sponsor us, right?
No.
Okay. He is not a sponsor of ours.
Not yet.
His
Not yet.
his stuff is awesome. It smells good. It's hygienic. It's natural. And if you have anybody in your family that has eczema issues, which my son does, get it because it's actually helping that and completely making it go away.
And it actually helps for ringworm too, staph, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Destiny, what about you? If people want to find out about you.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
all over the internet. YouTube.com/Fate of Destiny, fateofdestiny.com, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter as @FateOfDestiny. So I'm pretty easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, finally you're on Instagram.
I know. I've been
Somebody
keeping up with it though
fucking
since like SHOT Show. Oh, and then I'm managing editor for thearmsguide.com, so I've got content going up all the
Do you have
time.
your cape on right now?
Not my cape. I do have a Batman shirt, just not the caped one. Or the
Okay.
Wonder Woman shirt that has a cape because I'm cool like that.
Might be hiding it or something.
All right, Jim, I would ask people how to find you, but since you were in Delta Force, you don't exist. Seriously.
Ghost.
Well, somebody's got to find me in case something goes bad. So,
Seriously, though, tell me a little bit about US Elite, how they find you, all that stuff.
US Elite would be je@us-elite.com is my email there, and then I'm also Jim Erwin Elite on Facebook for a public figure page, and then I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I think is Jim US Elite. They changed it. The publicist did all this stuff for me. I have no clue how it all came about. I smiled, things happened. But yeah, I'm out there, guys. I'm doing some good stuff and having a good time. I'm starting to delve into some movies and commercials as well. I fly to Portland tomorrow to film a TNT episode of Librarian. Did a Glock commercial last weekend. Did a zombie movie the weekend before that. So I'm out there. Check it out on
When's the zombie movie coming out? I gotta know.
Halloween, of course.
Okay, that makes
It'll
sense.
come out soon. Looks badass, if I can say that on this channel.
Oh, yeah. Joe, what about you? How do people find out your stuff?
One spot,
What else?
tacticalworkouts.com. Tacticalworkouts.com. It's just we've got 5 really, really cool tactical training videos that just put your email address in and we'll send them right out. We filmed a bunch of stuff several months ago in Irvine, California. Did some range stuff, did some Krav Maga stuff. Just a couple really cool lessons for military operators and law enforcement professionals and even the prepared citizen on how to really start thinking a little bit differently about your training program. It's not about random. It's about having some method to the madness as far as your training and your nutrition. And I'd say recovery is possibly the most important aspect, as I'm sure all of our military folks out there and law enforcement folks listening and watching this who've ever done their job for a couple of days without getting sleep, you realize that training really isn't important. Nutrition's not important if you're not recovering. So we're trying to spread the good word and help the folks that are protecting our nation and hometowns. And that's what I was born to do.
Sweet. And left hand.
We started calling it Grow Day so that it didn't sound so feeble of recovery or rest. Right. Grow Day.
Grow day.
Active recovery days.
Yes.
Left hand, how do you get a hold of us?
Well, Zeke, they can get in touch with us at www.talkinglead.com. They can get all the links to our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, everything. What else do we do? YouTube.
YouTube.
Speaking of YouTube,
Podcast.
you guys, we got a review of this gun coming up. It's the Lone Wolf Timberwolf. So that'll be coming out, hopefully, Zeke, in the next couple of days, right?
Probably a week.
Okay, or a week. So we'll post all that on our social sites and media so you guys can keep in touch with that. And I want to thank everybody for being on, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. And make sure you go to iTunes, leave a review on the podcast, too. We got to get those iTunes reviews up. And as always,
What's an iTunes?
iTunes. And as always,
Carl,
keep your loved ones close.
And keep your firearms closer.